What's up, guys? It's Justin here. This is a different type of video today, but I'm going to show you the data that we use, and I'll just give a little bit of tips and tricks to FanDuel Fantasy. This is kind of in general, but since we're in baseball season, this is going to relate more to baseball. So to start things off, we play mostly on FanDuel, and I'll link our link tree in the bio so then you can sign up on FanDuel if you haven't already. If you have and you just play on the sports book, let's say, um, it's the same balance from the sports book. So it's just one combined thing. So to start things off, if you don't know what DFS is, it's salary based and you pick players and stuff like that. So you're not relying on teams to cover the spread or player props or any of that. You're just choosing players based on salary. So when Funk and I make these videos, this is what we use to help us make the YouTube videos. And if you follow us on Twitter, stuff like that. So I'll just show you guys this first and then I'll give you some tips. So the first thing we're looking at here is the top stack percentage. So kind of self-explanatory for baseball season. The top stack. So by the time you're seeing this, this is yesterday's data. Excuse me. So Minnesota, Atlanta, Milwaukee, Boston were the top four stacks. You see the implied team total. So Minnesota was projected for 5.3 runs. Top stack 10.4%. They had like 0.7 leverage, but they had the highest stack score. So they are clearly the chalkiest. So if you don't know what chalk means, that just means like super popular. Almost everyone's on them. You know, you might, we'll get into this later actually. So we went with a little mix of both. If you checked out the Twitter lineup, we're going to go into it tomorrow's video, but did not look great, even though we had um, a little bit of both of the top two stacks. Um, but yeah, just keep looking at this, kind of get an idea of what these mean. Starting pitcher owning percentage. So Brad Keller was 0.5%. No, you see the team total here, stack, top value, all that stuff. So I'm going to show you the ownership here. So let's go to FanDuel. So Jeffrey Springs, pitcher for the Rays, who had a monster day yesterday, was projected for 35% ownership. In some of the contests I played, he was around 35 to 40. I think he was like 44 in one of the contests. But then, here, I'll show you. You can do teams, it pops up all the teams and all that. And you can rank it however you want. If you just click this, it'll show like the lowest owned. So I kind of just look at this and then, obviously here you have the salary and all that. Let me show you. Sorry, I gotta get this out the way. Top pitchers tool. So it's kind of the same thing. Luis Garcia against the White Sox. Top pitcher percentage here at 7.9. Top value here. Projected ownership, pretty similar for Jeffrey Springs right here. So the one thing that I look at, and I'm sure Funk does as well, we look at the leverage. So Jeff Springs was minus 28% leverage, and Garcia was minus 15%. Now, in, in certain situations, you might need to just eat the chalk here and just like take one of these guys. And obviously, in today's, or excuse me, yesterday's lineup, we had Springs here, but this is just like an idea on who you can play. And, they have the starting pitchers listed and scheduled and all that. So this is a great tool to see who's going to be pitching. You look at the matchups, um, opposing team totals, all that. So now I'm going to show you the top batter tool. Is this on yeah, that's on FanDuel. So you can sort it out by position as you see here, and then you can just click all, and then you can just see that. So as you see, like here, we'll do this. So you see this faint green, that means it's good, but there's better options. So like Kyle Tucker today, percentage to have the top fantasy score, that's what that means. And they have like a little guide right here. Here, I'll highlight it over here. So you can see this and kind of get an idea on what that means. So this first one here, like as you see here, fantasy points by the dollar, percent chance of having the highest fantasy points for the salary, and then so on and so forth. So if you see like the kind of darker green that's like more visible, that means like really good, and kind of the same here for Judge. Top value, Tucker had the best value today considering Alvarez sat. But just because that, and this is all sorted out by salary, as you can see. So you can just keep scrolling if you're under the alt tab for all the batters, and you might be able to find like, um, I'm assuming this is Jesse Winker. I think he's on Milwaukee, but he's got a faint green mark here. Um, you can just keep scrolling down the list. Like, don't even know who this is, but somebody on Boston had like a really good value score at 2100. So yeah, these are the tools that we use. I just kind of wanted to show you guys. I will put the link tree. I think I said this earlier. I'm going to put the link tree in the description, and you'll see the Stokastic logo as you see on the tabs up here. You'll see that, and then you can sign up through there and take advantage of this, because this can give you a better edge on the slate. And throughout the day, based on starting lineups, like pitchers, if a pitcher gets scratched and it's just a bullpen game, all of that stuff, they update this stuff throughout the day. So I believe it's like, I want to say it's like 10 p.m. or excuse me, 10 a.m. Eastern. What they do is they drop like initial stacks, like all this stuff that I just showed you. They drop like whatever their data says. And then throughout the day, periodically, they update them. So I'll just kind of click each tab and scroll through just so you can get a better idea. Let's go to top pitchers here. And I'm just showing you FanDuel just because that's what we use. If you're somewhat experienced and you play on DraftKings or Yahoo, this is for that as well. So yeah, like I was saying too, I'll do this real quick. Catchers and first baseman, since it's combined, you got second baseman. There's something up with this, as you can see, with the salary. So I don't know what that's about. Even with here too. Yeah, you can sort it out by position or just click all. So yeah, this is what we use. This helps us, like I said earlier, this helps us with creating the YouTube videos. And if you don't follow us on Twitter, you should follow us on Twitter, because we give out one FanDuel lineup. We try to post it, I would say the earliest like 20 minutes before the lock, but sometimes we have to, we're playing around with some of the lineups. So, um, so like I said earlier, if you have a FanDuel sports account, you don't need to deposit money or sign up. But like I said, this is probably my third time saying this. In the link tree, there is a FanDuel, there's a FanDuel tab. You can click that, you sign up, you play like $10 worth of contest, and we each get $15 in bonus money. So it's a win-win scenario. So you can sign up if you don't have a FanDuel Sportsbook account yet. So that's just something to do. If I had to kind of give myself some tips in the past. So if you're starting off new, this is like a good area to listen. So if I'm a brand new DFS player, take advantage of the beginner contests. Um, it should indicate like a B, like with a blue circle, like for beginner, obviously. Take advantage of those while you can, because there's going to be a point in time where you don't get access to those anymore. Um, the payouts aren't as great from what I can remember. It's been a while, but take advantage of those while you can, because if you buy a Stokastic subscription, you'll have a better edge around the beginners, and you can make a good amount of money doing that. You're gonna have to, like another tip, you're gonna have to pay up for pitchers or whatever pitcher you like that's like reasonably priced, or pay up for a pitcher. You're going to need some cheap bats that are playing. So just an example, and this will be easier the way I'm gonna explain it. Minnesota, they have Max Kepler, Byron Buxton, Trevor Larnach, Carlos Correa. So we're gonna use this. Hold on. Max Kepler is 2,500. Okay. Always keep in mind the batting order as well, because Kepler usually leads off. Excuse me, Kepler leads off, and then it goes to like Correa, Buxton. So something else to keep in mind for MLB DFS. Look at that and kind of make your decision. Um, so if you were to run a twin stack, you can do something like Kepler, Buxton, Correa in that order, and then maybe like if you really like Minnesota, throw in a 5 or 6 guy. Because let's say Kepler gets a single, Carlos Correa gets a single, Byron Buxton hits a home run, hits a three run home run. Pretty self-explanatory how many points you're gonna get on that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Just look for good matchups for pitchers. Kind of despite the price, just look at the matchups, because that's going to really help you get points. Now, everyone's not perfect, and it won't really always be the case, because with this stuff you'll never really know. But just keep in mind with the pitchers too, like the better the matchup, the better it is for you. So Springs had a very easy matchup against the Tigers, and he had like 12 strikeouts today. To be honest, I didn't really pay attention much to these other pitchers. I just knew Garcia lost to the White Sox. So if your pitcher, if your pitcher gets less than 2 earned runs and pitches 6 innings, you get a bonus 4 points for a quality start. And if they get credited with a win, it's a bonus 6 points. So you have a potential of getting 10 points plus strikeouts and innings pitched and all that. So that's something to keep in mind too. Just look at matchups, maybe go on StatMuse and look at career versus team or something like that. Even for the batters as well, that'll really come in handy. Um, something else. So let's look at ownership real quick. I want to show you something. So Max Kepler was 13%. So what I'm alluding to is sometimes you're gonna have to play low owned guys based on salary or based on matchup. So look at that, 1.8%. So Funk and I had a lineup with Kike Hernandez Saturday, and he hit a home run. That's not always going to be the case, but sometimes what you're going to have to do is, based on your stack, based on the matchup, you're going to have to maybe here and there get a couple guys, maybe not as low owned as 1.8% here. but sometimes that can go a long way. We ended up cashing a little bit more because of this home run, and obviously we had other people helping us out and pitchers doing well and all that stuff. But sometimes it'd be a little different instead of eating the chalk and having guys that are like mid 20s, upper 30s% owned. If you're running a stack, don't be afraid to take shots at cheaper guys. I can't remember who it was yesterday. I think it was Larnick actually that had a decent game at 5%, but that didn't really matter because Buxton didn't do that great. Um, Correa didn't do that great, but they were sort of chalk. Um, that's basically it. If you found this video helpful, just like and subscribe goes a long way for us. If you have any questions, just drop them in the comments and we'll respond as quick as we can.